What's going on, everyone? It's Tay, aka Slay, and I'm just really happy to be with you guys today. It's been a while since I've posted, I think maybe 2.5 weeks, but last week was just, I was not in the right headspace to sit down and play with makeup. For those of you who may not know, my mother, Marilyn Delvell, passed a year ago last Thursday. And I actually took the day off of work to mourn. If you follow me on any of my social media, you will have seen the golden inspired look that I did in her honor. My mother's favorite color was yellow, so I did yellow eyeshadow. I used the yellow eyeshadows from the BH Cosmetics Zodiac Love Signs palette. It's actually a pretty good look. I wanted to talk to you guys about the things that I've learned since I lost my mom. If I get emotional, I apologize. Facebook has this feature called On This Day, where you can see the posts from, I think from 2011 to last year. And I've been looking at the ones from this time last year, and I can just see how much pain I was in. I think yesterday I saw a post where I had tried to go back to work a few days after she passed, and I just couldn't do it. My boss at the time was super understanding. He was like, no, go on home. I think I maybe lasted 2 hours on the job, and he was like, no, go home. And I came home and threw the covers over my head and just cried. This is much different from anything else I've done. Because I feel like somebody may need to hear this. When I shared this on Twitter, there were so many people in my DMs tweeting me saying, I lost my father, I lost my brother, I lost my sister, I lost my aunt, I lost this person I loved like a sister around this time last year, so I understand and I'm sending you love. People that I'd never tweeted at before, who may have just seen somebody else's reply on their timeline, were like, I don't know you, but I want to send you love. And I, because of my mother, was a big fan of Oprah Winfrey. And one of the things Oprah always said was, your story may save lives. So I'm sharing this with you so that you know that you're not alone. You can come out on the other side of grief better than you were before. And know that if you have lost a loved one, that they're always with you. And the lessons that you learned before and after that loss can be life-changing. My mother, in October of 2016, told me that her doctors had deemed all of her conditions terminal. My mother had chronic myeloid leukemia. She had congestive heart failure. She had diabetes to the point where her kidneys were failing. And I think by the time of her death, she only had 20% usage of her kidneys. She was on dialysis. I think 2 weeks before she passed, she told me that her doctors wanted to put her on dialysis 5 days a week. And I was like, that means your kidneys are shot. You're going to go, because dialysis is very hard on your heart. And that's what ended up taking her. Her heart just gave out. It couldn't take anymore. When she gave me the news, I noticed an instant shift in her. One of her favorite phrases became "one day at a time." That was completely opposite from the way I used to live. I was very much the type of person who would be, in the future, I'll be happy. When I move here, when I have the relationship, when I'm making this money, when I'm in this career, I'll be happy. My mother started trying to teach me to live differently than she had lived. My mother was a very hard worker. She had to be. One of the things she told me was, do not work yourself to death the way I did. My mother worked her fingers to the bone. She was the main breadwinner of the house. Whenever we needed extra money, she was the one that ran out and took a second or third job to make sure that we had amazing Christmases, my brother and I. She told me, don't wait until you're 55 years old to take your first vacation. The first vacation, actual vacation my family went on was in 2009. We all went to Myrtle Beach for a week, and that was a great week. She started telling me to follow my dreams. If you've known me for a while, you know that I am a performer. I sing, I dance, and I act. My mom discouraged that for a few years. Like in high school, she came to like my show choir performances. She came to my marching band things, and she was in the choral boosters and things like that. She supported me, but she was like, no, you're going to go to college. You're going to get a real career. Still don't have a degree. Sorry, Mom. She really wanted me to finish, but she let that go in the last days because she was like, I want you to be happy. She was like, I was never happy. I want you to be happy. That's all any parent really wants for their child, is for their child to be happy. She was like, don't do what I did. Go after your dreams. Move to California, because she knew that I really wanted to be out there. And I wish that she was here to see that plans are being made. We know exactly where we're going. We've seen the type of apartments that we might possibly move to. We know exactly how much it's going to cost for the move. My best friends and I, she was the one that finally made it sink in. She was like, your job doesn't care about you. If you were to drop dead, and I know you've seen this meme on Facebook, if you were to drop dead, your job will replace you like that. They don't care. So don't give your blood, sweat, and tears to your job. Live life. Stop working so much overtime. I wish I could, Mom. I'm broke. I believed when I decided to not stop grieving. If you've seen my Beauty Bakery video, you know that 2 months after my mom passed, I found out that the man that I loved with my whole heart, thought I was going to marry, admitted that he had been cheating on me most of the duration of our relationship. So not only am I grieving the loss of my mother, but I'm now having to grieve the loss of this relationship. But on my birthday, April 2nd, I woke up and decided, Mom would beat my ass if she saw me on my birthday sitting up in my room crying over somebody else's ugly ass son. I'm going to live my best life, because that's honestly what my mother was trying to teach me before she left. Living my best life, to me, is the best way to honor my mother. Because like I said, that's what any parent wants for their child. They want their child to be healthy and happy. In some instances, that means living the opposite way that my mother lived. Like, my mother would never, okay? My mother never wore makeup unless it was on a super rare occasion. That's the funny thing. I'm like the complete opposite of my mother. My mom was very old school. I told my mother that I probably would not take the last name of any man that I married. At most, I would hyphenate it. You would have thought that I told my mother that I had committed murder because she's so old school. She was like, that's disrespectful to your husband and his family. How dare you? I'm like, that's just not how, it's just not that serious nowadays, Mom. We were just totally different creatures. My mother went through a lot of abuse, not just in her younger days, but in her relationship with my father, who was a narcissist. I told this story at my mother's memorial. 2 months before I moved to New York, it was June of 2007, Mom and I were sitting in her bedroom on this love seat, pretty much the size of the couch that's behind me, maybe a little smaller. And I honestly do not remember what the conversation was about in its entirety. I remember her telling me that her biggest regret when it comes to me and how she raised me, her biggest regret was that because she didn't know how to love herself, she couldn't teach me how to love myself. So she begged me to learn how to love myself. And I think I've done a pretty good job. You know, there are things I don't tolerate because I know my worth. It took a long time to get here, and I want to tell you, if you're watching this, if you do not love yourself, it is imperative. When you learn to love yourself, your life goes to another level. And I saw it on Instagram today. When you don't love yourself, you will constantly be chasing after people who don't love you and people who choose not to learn how to love you. And I've seen that in my own life, and I've seen it in the lives of people around me. So I'm actually glad that I've taken the time to do that, because had I not loved myself, I'd probably still be in this relationship, and I'd probably still be getting cheated on and lied to and be enduring promises that will never be fulfilled. But now I want to share with you guys the impetus for this video. What prompted me to think to make this video, to not make this a Get Ready With Me, just to sit down and be raw and real with you guys. What happened is my mother had become brain dead, and they kept her on the machines until I got there, and we made the decision as a family to turn the machines off because Mom had always said she never wanted to be kept alive. She never wanted to be a vegetable. So we honored her wish and let her go. And I got to say goodbye. Somehow I know she heard me. She was already gone, but I know she heard me. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. I got a reminder of a post that I had made on Facebook. If you follow me on Twitter or on Facebook, you will know that one of my YouTube faves, one of my celebrity crushes, is a bodybuilder by the name of Bradley Martyn. I actually went to his gym when I was out there in California the beginning of November. He wasn't there. I was too much of a chicken shit to actually go inside the gym. My two male friends went inside, and I bet if he was there, they probably would have brought him outside to meet me. I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. So I'm actually kind of glad he wasn't there. But I've been following Brad for a few years now, and when I was going through the grief of losing my mom, I remembered a video that he had done. It was called It Will Make You Better. If it's still up on his channel, I will link it down below. And in that video, he talked about losing his father to suicide when Brad was 6 years old. And I said, okay, well, Brad's lost a parent. I don't expect him to see this tweet, but let me just shoot my shot. So I would like to share with you guys what I tweeted him and what he tweeted back. I said, at Bradley Martyn, my mother passed away Thursday and it's absolutely wrecking me. Do you have any advice for a squad member trying to keep it together after the loss of a parent? He said, this is one of the toughest things to do for anyone. First off, I am sorry for your loss. There is something here that is going to make you stronger. I know that at first it is so is capitalized, hard to see. Do your best to focus on the love you still have around you. Heart emoji. And it's that last line. Do your best to remember the love that you still have around you. That hit me the hardest yesterday. I noticed that I'm still operating from this place of, I don't have this. Yeah, things are good, but I don't have that. When I read that last line from last year, from what Brad had tweeted at me, it really hit home. It's like, this year, my 36th year of life has been amazing. I'm so thankful. I've been to California twice, where I've never been in my life. I have performed on Broadway stages. I won a contest that I came in 3rd place last year because I was so pissed at what somebody had said about hiring a black actress to play a role that I took my broken heart and turned it into art. Like, I started this YouTube channel and I'm building a community. There's so many amazing people that I am meeting and interacting with, and I can only see good coming from these things. I think I tweeted it. I was like, I'm not gonna say 2019 is my year, but it's looking pretty good. I got my sunglasses handy because it's looking bright. I really do want to take the time to be like, yes, let me focus on what's already here and appreciate and cherish what's already in my life while I'm waiting for these other things to be added. Because I'll be real with you, I'm kind of over being single. The lack of physical affection, the lack of attention, it gets to a girl from time to time. But I also have all of these amazing friends, people who reach out to me like, hey, I really want to take you to dinner, or when am I going to see you next? I don't want those people to feel that they are less than, especially my gay friends. I don't want them to think that I think less of them because they're not straight men that I can go to bed with. No, they mean the world to me. I detest my job, but I know that that job is temporary. I have 131, at the time of filming this video, I have 131 subscribers. I am so thankful for each and every one of you that has clicked subscribe and have your notifications turned on. I am so humbled by the fact that there are over 100 people who give a damn about how I beat my face, that care about my recommendations for products, that wanted me to teach them how I do my brows. I never thought that would have been my life 2 years ago. I learned this about myself, that I always thought that things had to be a certain way in order for me to be happy. I was like, I have to be famous or I'm not gonna be happy. I have to be in movies. I have to be on tour. I have to be this international pop star or else I'm just not gonna be happy. I know that there are many, many different ways for me to achieve the things that I want. It doesn't have to be a set way. And I know that my thinking of, if it doesn't come this way, it's not gonna come at all, I know that that blocked blessings. But to bring it back, I really want to focus in 2019. I'm starting now, but I'm saying I'm bringing this energy into 2019. I really want to focus on what's here now. And I don't think that's something my mother ever was able to do. I said it in my beauty bakery video that I saw my mom become a bitter woman, and I know that that blocked her blessings. I'm doing the opposite, and I know that's what she wanted me to do. So I'm going to continue that in honor of her and in honor of myself, to really appreciate what's here. With my Project Pan, I know there are people who are doing no buy years next year, and it's a way to appreciate the makeup that you already have instead of constantly adding to your collection and having makeup products that you have yet to use because you're constantly getting an influx of new product. I want to appreciate what's already in my collection. I want to appreciate New York City, even though it drives me insane, especially my commute. If you follow me on Twitter, you see how much I bitch about my commute. But I want to appreciate the city because there is still a lot of good in New York City. I want to see parts of the city that I've never seen before I leave. I want to see things, attractions that are in the city that I've never seen before I leave. I want to spend time with friends that I haven't been able to spend as much time as I would have liked with before I leave. It's really about living in the now and taking everything in and cherishing everything, because You could wake up tomorrow morning and everything could be completely different. Things could go any way. You may take off and blow up and wish for a simpler time, or you could lose everything and be like, I wish I had appreciated what I had when I had it. And in a way, I think I had to lose my mother to learn that. My mother is still teaching me, even though she's no longer here physically. And every day, I hope I make her proud. If I see her again once I shuffle off this mortal coil, I want her to say that to me. It's like, you did well. I'm very proud of you. And I'm so happy I get to see you again. That's really it. I wanted to share that with you. If you needed to be uplifted, I hope this did that for you. If you needed to be inspired, I hope that did that for you. I love you guys so very much. To everybody that has shown me kindness on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, for everybody that reached out to me last week. There aren't enough words for me to thank you. That meant everything to me. The fact that people that I've never met face to face cared enough to send me that love and support. I'm so, so grateful. I'm gonna go because I'm turning into a complete mess. This is real. Y'all want YouTubers to be real? This is as real as you can get. This is real emotion right here. I love you guys so very much. I'll get back to the reviews and the get ready with me's and all of that as I'm focused on growing this channel, and my passion for this channel grows by the day. You guys can expect a lot more from me. I hope everyone is enjoying this holiday season, and I'll talk to you on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'll leave all of that in the end card. Take care of yourselves, guys. I know that there are a million videos you could have watched today. I humbly and tearfully thank you for coming to Slay. One more thing I wanted to add in. I wanted to send a special thank you to Bradley Martyn for inspiring this video. Again, I didn't expect you to see my tweet. I know you get tweeted at by thousands of people on the daily, and the fact that you took time out of your schedule to quote tweet and give me some advice that got me through the toughest thing in my life. I can't thank you enough. That is what being an influencer, which is part of what you are, is uplifting the people who watch you, being there for the people who support you. And I honestly don't know if you know what that means to someone like me. So thank you.